In the news, President Tinubu appeals to religious leaders not to denigrate Nigeria in sermons, instead pray for the nation. Third Mainland bridge to reopen soon after comprehensive rehabilitation on the bridge. 45 people die in South Africa as bus crash into ravine. In sport, Lagos Sport Writers Association of Nigeria and White Collar Football League sign football MOU. And welcome to MLC TV Weekend News Review, live from the city of Lokoja, the confluent state of Nigeria. I am Abiodun Sadiq. President Bola Tinubu has called on religious leaders to refrain from vilifying or denigrating the nation in their sermons. Speaking during Ramadan IFTAR with traditional rulers and religious leaders at the State House in Abuja, the president emphasized the important role of religious leaders in shaping public opinion and fostering sense of unity among citizens. He urged the leaders to be more constructive in their criticism of those in elective positions. The President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Anjurin Galali, disclosed this in a statement titled, President Tinubu Appeals to Religious Leaders. He reiterated that no terrorist can defeat the collective will of Nigerians, no matter how hard they try to prey on innocent citizens. He urged traditional rulers and religious leaders to forge a strong bond with the governments to defeat terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, and other forms of criminality in the country. Ex-President Muhammadu Buhari on Thursday extended birthday greetings to President Bola Tinubu, who turned 72 March 29. Buhari commended Tinubu for making sustained efforts to overcome the many problems of the country, as he wished him many happy returns of the day. Buhari, in his congratulatory message, said, "My family and I pray to God that you remain healthy and happy and continue to work for the betterment of the country." Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu congratulated Tinubu on his birthday, describing him as a courageous, audacious, and passionate leader who is committed to the progress, growth, and development of Nigeria. Sanwo-Olu, in a statement by his media aide Boyega Kinsele, on behalf of his family, the government, the people of Lagos State, members of the Governance Advisory Council, leaders and members of the ruling All Progressive Congress in the state, Lagos State, congratulate President Bola Tinubu on the occasion of his 72nd birthday. Likewise, the Rivers State Governor, Sir Siminalayi Fubara, described President Tinubu as a selfless leader, an advocate of peace and unity, and a bridge builder who has engendered the growth of democracy in the country. Governor Ododo joins other Nigerians to celebrate the achievement of the President Tinubu and his unwavering commitment, wisdom, and leadership in steering Nigeria toward greater economic prosperity and improvement in the security of lives and property under very challenging circumstances. Similarly, lawmakers at the Lagos State House of Assembly took turns to speak glowingly of President Tinubu. The lawmakers said it was important to celebrate the president's achievement as former governor of Lagos State and his current strides, noting that his policies in the state had continued to put Lagos on the global map. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, reviewed plans to formally open the third Mainland bridge that was closed for comprehensive repairs on January 9 to the public. Speaking in Lagos, Umahi said the comprehensive rehabilitation on the bridge has been completed before the bridge will be opened to the public. The minister spoke as members of the National Assembly comprising both the Senate and House of Representatives Committee on Works, who undertook a joint oversight function in Lagos. He identified two things to be done before reopening. The two things to include lane marking, which according to him will be completed within 7 days. He identified the order to include the fixing of solar lights on the bridge. In line with the state free education law, which makes education free in Kogi State. Governor Ahmed Usman Ododo has released funds for the payment of basic education certificate examination, basic SATs and common entrance examination fees for students in the state public schools. The Kogi State Commissioner for Education, Wemi Jones, made this known in Lokoja at a meeting with principals of secondary schools and PTA representatives in the state. The meeting, which was called for the stakeholders to brainstorm on ways to implement the government's free education policy in the state, have in attendance the state chairman of SETSCOM, ANCOPS, state presidents, state PTH vice chairmen, ASO state chairman, principals in public secondary schools, and PTA local government chairmen across the state. The commissioner re-emphasized the commitment of the state government towards restoring the glory of education to what it used to be, using ICT compliance. He stated that the government's decision to increase the education budget to 30% is to restore the glory of education and make the state the most educated state in Nigeria. In the bid to cushion the country's economic challenges, the Ogun State Governor, Dapo Abiodun, has decided to commence the sales of rice at 50% discount to residents. Abiodun made this decision known during the special IFTAR organized for the League of Imams and Afars in the state at the Presidential Lodge in Abeokuta. Governor Abiodun noted that the sale of the commodity will begin with public servants across the board, and residents of the state would also buy it at half the price. Abiodun added that his administration aspires to return the purchasing power of public servants lost due to inflation. Nigeria has been left in darkness as the national electricity grid controlled from Oshogbo, Osun State, collapsed at about 4:30 p.m. on Thursday. Most distribution companies across the country disclosed that their feeders were out leaving their franchise area across the 36 states in darkness. While the grid output was 2,984 megawatts as at 4 p.m., the 21 plants on the grid had zero output as of 5 p.m. As of 6 p.m., Azura was the only plant on the grid with a capacity of 54 megawatts. Other plants like Egbi, Afam, Gerugu, Ibom Power, Jeba, Kanji, Udupani, Olorun Shogo, and others had zero output. Just last month, the grid collapsed, leaving the entire country in darkness even at a time when the industry is asking customers to pay more. And on politics, the Kogi State government has debunked what it described as a headless allegation by the Social Democratic Party that it masterminded attacks on witnesses at the ongoing governorship election petition tribunal, saying the allegation was not only reckless but stand logic on its head. The state government said, contrary to the propaganda of the SDP, discerning members of the public were following the tribunal case and would know that there was no way anyone would plot an attack against witnesses that were already testifying against those who paid them to testify and doing enough to make SDP lose woefully. The State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, reacted to the SDP allegation during a press conference held in Lokoja, the state capital. Our reporter tells us more.
The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, however, said it was important to enlighten the Social Democratic Party that the case at the tribunal was between parties and that the state government, which is accused, was not one.
The allegation drifted into the abyss further by claiming that supporters of the thoroughly defeated candidate of the Social Democratic Party in the election, one Muritala Ajaka, were attacked. We wouldn't have bothered to respond to the backing of the SDP and its leadership as the state government is busy with governance. But it is important to set the record straight and address the minds of the public to the tradition of lies by the SDP. The Kogi State government, under the leadership of His Excellency Alhaji Ahmed Usman Ododo, the democratically elected governor of the state, will be undaunted in its resolve to serve the people of the state rather than be entangled in the propaganda festival by the jobless and idle SDP.
The state government noted that it was absurd and incomprehensibly for the SDP to continue to exhibit anti-democratic tendencies and provoke the sensibility of the people in such a reckless manner, adding that if they are so confident in their incompetent petition, why resort to self-help?
The state government did not receive any report of politically steered crisis and therefore surprised at the blatant, false, spurious, and pedestrian claims by the Social Democratic Party in the party's usual way of wiping up sentiments and spreading falsehood to win public sympathy. It is clear that SDP's petition is suffering an irreversible setback at the tribunal, as the comedians they presented as witnesses probably didn't rehearse their lines well, or they are falling because their claims have their foundations in fiction.
According to him, the Kogi State government is unwavering in its stance on security and constitutionalism as the basic minimum in ensuring a peaceful and secure state. The commissioner added that it was the responsibility of the government to protect all citizens, irrespective of their political or religious persuasions.
The Kogi State government doesn't subscribe to violence and actions that breach the peace of the state. We will also not accept statements deliberately made to incite the people against the government and possibly spark panic. The SDP must always be prepared for the consequences of their actions and utterances against the Kogi State government or its officials. It will be unacceptable for them to vent their impending failure on the state government that is doing all it can to provide security for all in the states.
Sanwo-Olu said for the national chairman of the SDP to make false claims against the Kogi State government before gentlemen of the press as further proof of the party's impertinence.
It's further proof of the party's irrelevance and the reason the party is not controlling any state in the federation. Kogi State cannot be a podium for the SDP to test its songs of division, ethnic bigotry, and violence. The illogic of the SDP's claims is characteristic of a party that is desperately making efforts to hog the limelight through propaganda. Why would anyone attempt or even attack a witness that has testified against those that paid him to witness for them? The discerning public is following the tribunal case and understands there is no need to attack witnesses that are doing enough to make SDP lose woefully in the law court.
He urged the people of the state to go about their normal businesses as there won't be any chance for anyone to attack any Kogite and that no stone will be left unturned to ensure peace and security in the states.
The People's Democratic Party Gombe State Chapter berated Governor Muhammadu Yahaya over the approval of 43.130 billion naira Governor's Resident High Court and House of Assembly complexes. According to a press statement signed by its acting publicity secretary Abdulrahman Buba, it described the approval as extravagant. Recall that Commissioner for Works, Housing and Transport Usman Kalamu, during the post-council meeting briefing, told journalists that work would commence in earnest on the 3-arm zone. The People's Democratic Party castigate Gombe State government's extravagant expenditure, elevating opulence above education and development, neglecting transparency and accountability. We go on a short break now. We'll be right back.
Mineral resources are inextricably linked to the rise of mankind and civilization. Their importance has been repeatedly documented by archaeologists who have named the ages of mankind based on the materials used by society: the Stone Age, the Copper Age, the Bronze Age, and the Iron Age. The more recent times also carry names of other geologic resources such as the Coal Age, the Petroleum Age, and the Atomic Age. The strength and power of early nations often stemmed from mining activities and the amount of such metals as gold and silver in the treasury. Minerals have also played a significant role in the exploration of the world, colonization of foreign lands, and the trade, commerce, and industrialization of civilized societies. Mineral is a concentration of inorganic, naturally occurring, and non-renewable solids, with over 5,000 identified minerals across the world. Historically, Nigeria relies heavily on oil sector, but diversification of the economy through the exploitation of solid minerals is a promising avenue that warrants greater attention. The value of mineral resources to growing economy cannot be overemphasized because they possess the capacity to create jobs, foster industrialization, and contribute significantly to revenue generation and national development. On this program, Hammer and Pick Show, we dissect, deliberate, and report issues concerning the extractive industry in Nigeria and the rest of the world, because the extractive industry has become a defining factor in the ratings of the world economy. Subscribe to this channel to be a part of the show. You cannot afford to miss out.
Welcome back. The Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ Kogi State Council, on Saturday launched the monthly environmental sanitation by cleaning the surroundings of their secretariat located on Lugard Road in Lokoja. According to sources, the exercise is the first of its kind in the history of the secretariat spanning 30 years. The Commissioner for Environment and Ecological Management, Engineer Olusegun Stephen, commended the journalists in the state for keying into the environmental program of the state government. The commissioner, represented by the Director of Sanitation in the ministry, Falodun Vincent, expressed optimism that the effort of the journalists in that regard would lessen the burden of various environmental and health challenges in the state. The commissioner, who donated 3 dustbins towards the success of the cleaning exercise, promised that the state would soon revive the monthly sanitation and the ministry would do more soon, ensuring sanitation across the state. Responding, the chairman of NUJ, Saudi Adamu Haruna, said the journalists in the state had resolved to key into the state government's determination to keep the state clean to avoid health and environmental challenges. The need to start the exercise from their secretariat. He promised that the exercise would be a process not only to keep the NUJ secretariat clean, but other parts of the state capital soon. The chairman commended journalists who came for the exercise to keep the secretariat clean and healthy. On the foreign scene, Russia has shut down a panel of UN experts that have for years monitored sanctions against North Korea. The panel last week said it was probing reports that Russia violated rules by buying North Korean weapons like ballistic missiles for use in Ukraine. The UN Security Council has imposed a series of sanctions on Pyongyang since 2006 for its nuclear weapon program. Those restrictions are still in force, but the expert group set up to monitor violations will now be disbanded. This is the first time Russia has blocked the panel, which has been renewed annually by the UN Security Council for 14 years. 45 people have died in South Africa after the bus they were in plugged some 50 meters off a bridge into a ravine. An 8-year-old girl, the only survivor, was taken to hospital with serious injuries. The bus crashed through a barrier and caught fire when it hit the ground in northeastern Limpopo province. The passengers were pilgrims traveling from Botswana capital Gaborone to the Easter service in the town of Moria. And on sports, The Sports Writer Association of Nigeria, Lagos State Chapter and White Collar Football League signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at making a positive difference in the society. The MOU was signed by Dave Jones, President, White Collar Football Management, Chairman of Lagos 1, Debo Oshundun, and Oba Moruf Amadu Tijani Oluwa, the Olu of Iwa and Apapa Kingdom, at a ceremony held at the Ajeromi Felodu Local Government Area Secretariat in Ajegunle, Lagos. Holders Barcelona beat Brand to set up a Women's Champions League semi-final against Chelsea. Barcelona won the first leg 2-1 and extended their aggregate lead when Bonmati hooked an effort past Aurora in the 23rd minute. They netted again through Fridolina Raffo, who bundled home when Maxine failed to clear a goal-mount scramble. Harkin were unable to make any real impression at Park the Princess as the Swedish side were forced to sit back without the ball. And that is the size of a news package. If you like what we're doing, do support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, Malachi TV. Follow our Facebook pages, MLC TV, MLC TV2, MLC TV Yoruba, and Ibira Vabe, MLC TV, Instagram, MLC TV 2021, X handle Malachi TV, and TikTok, Malachite_TV. For your event coverage and appearance on any of our programs, contributions, comments, advert placement, or sponsorship, please call or send SMS to any of our numbers displayed on your screen. Join Malachi TV online on weekends to watch our various programs. Saturday, 7 p.m. Political Arena. Sunday, 6 p.m. Women's World. And Monday, 9 a.m. The Opinion. It's Malachi TV, reaching everywhere, informing everyone. Please be your brother's keepers to build a happier and better society together. I am Abiodun Sadiq. Thanks for watching.